Howdy, folks. I'm everybody's favorite barking turnip, Rex.
I'm Amber.
And here's some Reddit. Alright, folks. Our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to let my boyfriend have my bank account info? I'm a 31-year-old female and I've been with my boyfriend, a 37-year-old male, for 8 months. He has 3 kids and is a single dad. We're on pretty good terms regarding almost everything. When it comes to money and spending, we take turns to invite each other out weekly. We don't live with each other, obviously. Well, several times he's had me pay for his kids' purchases. I didn't make a big issue out of it for the sole reason that those purchases were relatively small. All I had to pay was like 30 to 60 bucks. Well, the other day he called me while I was at work and sounded like he was in a hurry. He said that he just found the gaming device that he's been looking for so long and wanted to buy it for his oldest son. I asked what this had to do with me, and he told me that he was short on money and needed 300 bucks. He asked me to lend him $300 and I hesitated but agreed. He asked for my bank account info so he could pull the money, but I refused and I told him to wait for me until I get there. He insisted and said that he would handle it. All I had to do was just send him the bank account info after I ended the call with him. His insistence made me uncomfortable, so I said no and told him to either wait or I won't pay. He got mad at me saying that he didn't get why I was acting like this, so he got loud and I had to hang up. I found him sitting outside after I went home. He was waiting for me and was extremely upset. He asked me why I didn't just send him the account info so he could pull the money that we agreed on. I told him that I don't feel comfortable letting anyone have my personal info, especially when it comes to finances. He got offended and said, I'm not just anyone, I'm your freaking partner. Then went on a rant about how he ended up not paying the gaming device after looking for it for so long, and now his kid is mad at him and it's all my fault. We had a fight and then he left and told me that I better have an apology for him and his son the next time I call his phone. I haven't called yet, but I feel like I acted stupidly and irrationally. I think I should have just given him the info that he asked for. I don't know if I made the right decision. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
Not the jerk, OP. Not the jerk. You know how you can identify a scam? Or when someone's trying to, scam you? It becomes an emergency. Like, anytime someone says, this has to be done now. Oh, we gotta get this done, this second. We are running out of time. That is a classic sign that someone is trying to rip you off. And maybe he really did have the gaming system this time that he was waiting for to purchase. But the urgency is what I'm really worried about. He wanted you to surrender your bank account info so that he could have that on record for the future. This wasn't a one-time thing. This was a one-time thing right now, but in the future when he has some other emergency, he's just going to be like, well, I couldn't get a hold of you, so I just went ahead and purchased this other thing. Hopefully you don't mind. Until it becomes that you don't have any more money because he has taken all of your money and spent it on things. Or you leave him because he's, ripped you off thousands of dollars. So maybe in this particular case, there was a gaming system involved, but that's not the point. The point was that he set this up so that there was an urgency, so that you would feel compelled in order to surrender that information because you wanted to do him a favor, and then he was going to drain you dry. At least that's my cynical take of this, but I don't know. Let me know what you folks think. Cynical Brian, good or bad? Take care, and take care and good luck. And Singing Stream says, oh hell no. You've been with him for only 8 months and he's already demanding that you lend him money and give him your bank account info. Sounds to me like those small purchases he got you to do for his kids' stuff were his way of softening you up so he could later request a big purchase and you would be used to it so you wouldn't hesitate. You didn't act irrationally, he did. If he can't afford it, he needs to wait until he can. I wouldn't give my own mother my bank account details and she wouldn't ever ask either, let alone a partner I've only been with for less than a year. A year is where the honeymoon period starts to wear off, where the person starts revealing their true colors and all their flaws. If he's acting like this at 8 months, during the period where he's supposed to be showing you his best side, what's he going to be like in a year from now? What's he going to be demanding then? What's he going to be telling you that he needs to buy right now? He acted abusively by shouting and yelling when you said that you're not comfortable. He trampled all over a boundary that any reasonable person would be completely understanding. So again, oh hell no, he should be apologizing to you. He acted appallingly. Not the jerk. Total, not the jerk. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to return a bag that I bought with my money? English is not my first language, so I apologize in advance for any mistakes. I'm a 19-year-old female and I work at a thrift store 3 days a week. It's quite a big one, and a lot of people in my area come and shop there. Every product is labeled in accordance to a color-coded system, and the color changes every week. Furthermore, there is a section in the store that sells more expensive donations, mostly brands. These products are usually sold at higher prices. I am a very low-level employee, and my job is to place the products on the shelves and on the poles. Because of that, I see what is about to be sold in advance. However, I can't buy anything that is labeled with the color of the week. So for example, if this week's color is red, I have to wait until next week to buy anything that is labeled in red. Well, now I usually work on weekends and a random day of the week. 2 weeks ago, it fell on a Tuesday. That meant that we had just started a new color, yellow. As I was putting the bag on the shelf, I realized that one of them was from a very expensive fashion brand. On a first glance, you wouldn't have been able to recognize it, but because I spend so much time on Pinterest, I immediately started panicking. This bag that usually retails for a few thousand, in sale at a thrift store for $12.99. I thought I was going to faint. Unfortunately for me, because it was labeled yellow, I couldn't have it. Because it's not the first time that this sort of thing has happened. I calmed down, I put the bag back into its place, and I continued my job. As I was going on with my day, I kept going back to the same section, praying that no one had taken it. At the end of my shift, I saw that it was still there, and I decided that if no one had bought it, I would. 4 days later, I come back to the start of my day, and I see that the bag is still there, but now is further back on the shelf, behind some other ones. I didn't touch anything. I just kept doing my job. I did the same thing on Sunday. Last Monday, I woke up and I went to shop. As soon as I entered the store, I went to the bag section and I took the bag. I beelined to the checkout and I bought it. I was so excited. I guess that some of my excitement was showing because my coworker asked me why I was smiling, and me and this coworker usually get on well, so I explained to her the situation. She smiled and told me that she was happy for me. Last Saturday, while on my shift, my boss called me into his office to talk. He was with one of my managers, and they went on to tell me how I had acted inappropriately by not notifying them of the price of the bag. They asked that I return it so that they would be putting it back on sale, but this time at a much higher price. I told them no because I followed the policy. They weren't happy, but they couldn't force me. Yesterday, I went to work. My coworker kept on making remarks, and my managers had this unhappy look on their face. I explained the story to my friend, and she said that even if it is my bag, it's not their fault that I kept the information for myself. So Reddit, am I the jerk? Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
So OP, I think that your job was to put the bags onto the racks, right? You followed the store's policy. They have a policy that says that you can't purchase them on the same color week, and you followed that. This wasn't your fault. This was whomever put the price tag on the bag. And you were speculating for the most part. I don't know if you looked this up at the store or if you were just guessing about what its price was, but I don't think that you're the jerk. Like, somebody else had the chance to take and look this up and basically figure out whether or not this was worth what it was worth. And they labeled it at $12.99. I don't think that you did anything wrong here. I think that, you know, you found a deal and it happened to be at the place that you worked. And that's that, right? I would have a really hard time faulting you, especially since it sounds like you're not going to get a cut of the price, right? They're not going to allow you to take home any of the profit for identifying if the bag is going to get, be sold for more money or not. So maybe that's a selfish way of looking at things, but you're a low-level employee. You practically make not enough money to live anyways, I'm imagining. So just consider this your Christmas bonus. I don't know. Let me know what you folks think. Was this dishonest of OP or not? Anyhow, take care and good luck. And Queen Size Beauty says, not the jerk, policy was followed. Not your fault, they didn't check it properly. And Delta TL says, I worked at a thrift store with a similar system, and OP is definitely not the jerk. We knew what we had to give the customers a chance, and she did. It's the responsibility of the pricers to look this stuff up. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea here. Amber has some tea as well. What does a tiger do when it rains? Gets wet. Thank you, book, for your anti-joke. And I have Mega Mint tea. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. And if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Happy Wednesday. Friday, Junior's Eve.